Yeah, so we played in the ALGS CC finals yesterday, and it did not really go as I was hoping. Obviously, I was hoping for a win, and I was expecting us to place maybe in the top 5. But yeah, we struck out on about 9th place. That doesn't mean, though, that it's all been a failure. This is a long-term project, and like I said, it was, like TGB quit his job this week, and we barely got into practice together. All things considered, getting to the finals and placing 9th is amazing. And there was a lot of potential, a lot of mistakes that happened when we were playing. And I figured, let's do this in old-fashioned Ottr style. And let's just go through all of the footage together of these finals. Let's outline what went wrong, what we can do better. And then you guys can learn and, know what to look out for future tournaments and such. Because this is a long-term project. We're going to be doing this for weeks and months and whatnot. As long as we continue improving and things go well. So I have the VOD here. It's about, I think it's 6 games. It's not 6 full games, mind you. But we're gonna look through all of them as we go on, and I'm gonna try to kind of just comment over it in a normal style. You know how it is. We've done these for the SoloQ Master videos. Speaking of which, I'll probably be trying to hit Master today. I'm not gonna try and force it because it's been a rough lately. But I really want to hit TV/Ottr. I think we got 9.3 KRP, so we need 700 more, then we hit Master, and I can close out the series because I actually got 4 wins in a row. Once we hit Diamond Lobbies. Super excited to show that off for you guys, hopefully later this week. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, they're going staging.
So we had to figure out a drop spot here. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit. That was really awkward figuring out like, oh, what's open, what isn't. Normally teams kind of communicate that, hey, we're dropping here, so there isn't a contest on drop because contesting early on usually means that both teams suffer. But we ended up actually, I think people might be respecting us. Because I think someone called Launchpad as well. But what ended up happening was that we actually did get it completely for free. This other team on fish farms and, all around. But specifically here was fine. We've never dropped here before, so I wasn't entirely sure about the loot path. This is as much of a review for me, guys, as it is for you guys. So, I'll be learning from watching this as well. This is gonna be great. Yeah, that was the plan. No? That's a streamer moment. You gotta do 2 things at once. You save a lot of time when you have to do 100 things at all times. So we went like really wide on Launchpad, as you notice. We're just spreading out as much as we can to get as much loot as possible. Something people mentioned during this, I'm not proud of the loot this one. This was the first time we dropped here as a team, and it was awkward. You're going to see. I'd say one big thing you should be doing when you split as a team is you should know what guns your teammates want, and you should ping them. When you have craft, which you did here, the person who drops near the craft should drop and start crafting maybe 1 or 2 mats or things like batteries or something, so, it's on the way. This first time around, we wasted a lot of time just kind of running around, looking for loot, meaning a lot of looking for loot, and you're gonna see in a little bit, kind of going in between things. I didn't know what I wanted, so people commented on this a lot when I played last night. Specifically what we're talking about is, oh, why do I not run a shotgun? There's a lot of gibbies that run a shotgun, they run sniper shotgun, and or whatever, and I was like, I don't know, I don't like it. I'm not the best at bubble fighting, we should probably work on that, but in all if we're gonna be completely honest, I just think that mid-range or close range and sniper works just fine, especially for me. My sniping skills, we'll see later, are really good, and I can give us a lot of value having a sniper in my hand, probably more than a shotgun, especially because TGB and Lepe are great at bubble fighting. They can provide all that pressure while I'm just trading or holding from the back, so it works out in our team fighting. But we'll see during this VOD review if there's anything to learn. It does mean that we are usually in a bad spot when it comes to bubble fighting, which I don't like too much. But it's hard to find a middle ground. I don't know what the objectively better decision is here, because when you do like objectively, like, you kind of want a shotgun. The thing is, as a Gibraltar, you want 3 guns. You want a sniper, you want a shotgun, you want a mid or long range, like R31, Mastiff, and a sniper. So I got caught here. I actually asked him for a sentinel. When I have to decide on what to use, especially in comp, I don't want to run a triple take. The reason for this is a triple take takes, I think, 3 bullets per shot. And and it doesn't do that much damage, and it like has a little spread, so it's not super... the damage isn't efficient, the consistency isn't really there. I do not like using that sniper for that reason. Also, I pop off really hard with the Sentinel, but that's beside the point. I'm purely looking at this from an economy perspective. When you are playing competitive, ranked isn't as bad at this, but when you're playing competitive, you usually don't get to loot. So what you pick up at the start of the game is what you get to have throughout the entire duration of the game. And as such, you know, I want to pick a Sentinel with maybe 3 stacks of ammo, if not more, and just kind of, it depends. But the point is, I need to make sure I'll be able to poke. I'll need to make sure I'll be able to heal up my team and cover my team, maybe get kill points, because later in the game, sprint for, like, I guess if you're in the finals and you go for the win, maybe it doesn't matter too much, but when it comes to if you want to qualify, or actually just as a blanket statement, every point matters. If you can get a point, you should take the point, and one kill point means a lot. So like I said, we wasted a lot of time. I literally, if I show you on the map, I literally ran like here and here and like just bouncing all over the place. Lepe and TGB got kind of decent loot here, but I have 10 spare bullets of sniper, some R9 shots and whatnot, because I have to say that I wanna blame them to a certain degree, because they didn't really like do a good job pinging the sniper for me. I thought I'd communicate I need a Sentinel, but I should know by now. They definitely do now that I do need a Sentinel. Or that type of sniper instead of a triple take, because it's just not economic. If you are a team, you probably want to... If you're a team, you probably want to figure out, like, okay, what are the preferred guns to my teammates? So you know what to pick. When it comes to deciding... We've had this conversation, actually. When it comes to deciding like who runs what, we usually try to keep the ammo types separate. As primary guns, you would want maybe like one guy is light, one guy is heavy, one guy is energy. I'm the energy guy, but I play a lot of light. It's hard to get energy, and especially in comp, finals and such. So I ended up being light, but you still don't want 3 people on the same ammo type as a primary. That still applies. Even if 2 people have the same ammo type, you maybe want to have a heavy guy. I think BFG will be on it. I feel like a Wraith would probably get away with the most stuff. I don't know. So I don't know what I think about this decision here. Like TGB, Lepe. I don't know about Lepe, but both TGB and I were like Apex comp veterans in a way. We came up with Kings Canyon. We came up with or established ourselves. We got our practice in during the Kings Canyon World's Edge metas, and we don't have that much experience on Stormpoint. Especially when it comes to macro game sense, we haven't played much ranked. We don't know angles. There's just a lot of knowledge lacking. So we do spend. I'd say we were wasting time here. We adjusted later in the VOD, which you will see. But right now we're wasting a lot of time because we're just thinking, okay, we'll play Edge. Now we're starting to rotate. Starting to go in. We're thinking the team was still on the left, but realistically they rotated in. So we keep walking. So I keep playing around with super glides here. I still haven't nailed them at 250 FPS or 240 FPS. When I have, you guys will know. Working really hard to hit them right now. So now we're just walking up on antenna. We had a read that maybe it'll pull antenna. I actually called it would go towards the ball right outside barometer. And I think one of us did as well, but we made a call to go antenna and play from this side. We kind of want to do an edge sort of play here. Lepe is our main IGL. I'm gonna raise the volume a little bit, just so I can hear the calls, but I have to talk over the calls and think at the same time, so it might be a bit disruptive for me, but the calls are very important here. I am a support player, or I can play any legend, but I think my Jibby is very solid, and the thing is a Jibby, I don't know how much they can carry. They can be very impactful, but it's more of it's a support legend, it's a rock, it's an anchor. My job is kind of to just make sure that things go smoothly, let TGB and Lepe do what they want, and, you know, I don't die, I let us reset, and I clutch if needed. Very rarely do I get to clutch as it stands, but that's something we need to work on. So we decided to take this spot for now.
We need to figure out which is...
I think this came from our experience too. In a previous game, if you watch the qualifiers, we got stuck here. You know, we're pinging out again, we think it's gonna go there. But we are very late. If people play zone, so one thing in comp is you want to kind of, you want to play. There's 2 styles usually, right? And it really depends on your lobby. It's extra hard here because we are in a community, so challenger circuit, which means that it's not, you know, strictly tier 1 teams. Yeah, it's the finals, but it's not pro league teams, so they're a little bit unpredictable. You don't know what they want to do. You don't know if everyone's going to play edge. You don't know if everyone's going to rotate early and play zone. I'd say a flexible team, they benefit the most, in my experience, where you don't play only early zone and camp, or you don't play only edge and, you know, like, take time. You want to always adjust to your lobby, I want to say. So if everyone in the lobby is playing in the middle of the zone, oh, well, then we'll just play edge, you know, we'll have a lot of space to work with. And,
one team, and then there was another team
it comes down to micro things as well, but you gotta read the meta. I think one underrated thing is countering the meta, which is what we actually do this. I'll try to call out when you see it. But we're gonna be skipping. We're not gonna show like the mid-game talk, mid-spectate talks. We're not gonna show those things. We're just gonna show like the gameplay. But I'll try to call it out when I see the adjustment, so you guys can see it. Once again, we have very little experience together, so this is all natural. This is natural in the progression of a team. Obviously, I would want us to just win the tournament instantly, but you probably haven't noticed until now, but there's no sound from the game. That's because I messed up. The way I'm commenting over this video right now is I'm using I'm doing a thing in my routing with my mixer where the audio doesn't come out to my OBS. The game audio, the PC audio doesn't go to my OBS, which is great, but I forgot to turn it off when I turned the tournament on. I think we did a React video right before this.
Probably, yeah, they have a very big advantage.
So we're just kind of talking now. We're playing here. The point is we want to play edge. Not a super solid plan. Just kind of, alright, we gotta walk up on the... we gotta walk up on the high ground here. We gotta make a play happen. They are massively advantaged because not only do they have high ground, but they have the... they have the zones. When the zone closes, we're gonna be pressured in the back. They can just kind of sit back, and with a head glitch...
There is a team here.
I hate seagulls. I can't do anything about it. I am sorry. I hope we'll be able to keep that on the low end. It's, we had a seagull infestation where I used to live, and I hate them so much. It was really bad where I used to live, and now we live a little bit farther from the ocean. I thought we'd be safe, but we're not, and the people who live here, they litter like crazy. There's rats and everything, so I'm not surprised that there's also a bunch of... So if you guys didn't know this, that this, you can shoot through these now. This is new. And most people do not know this, including my teammates actually. They changed that, what, last patch? I don't know if it was like a bug or something, but I have plenty of clips of me trying to shoot through and it not working. And most people just assume it doesn't. But yeah, fun fact, little lesson there. But that team is moving up on us in the back. They have a lot of space. The problem is if we try to push up on the team right in front of us right now, like I said, one, they have a great head glitch, pretty good aimers. But we also have the other team in our back, so if the fight isn't clean, if the fight isn't fast, they will shoot us in the back. And actually, if we even brace for cover, they can shoot us in the back if they get the unfortunate angle. So it's a bit scary to take this fight. I did not feel confident doing this. I don't think my teammates did either, Lepe or TGB. But you had to kind of make a play here. Eventually. But right now we're kind of sitting around, we're waiting for the landscape to change again, idea what's happening. I should have shot him there, I would have gotten a pick. It would probably not have mattered. Actually, now that I think about it, we could have probably pushed on it.
This guy's running in the open now, I don't know where they're going.
Oh. Nice, Ottr, you're hitting.
Yeah, but...
Keep going.
Oh, there's another team there. So I don't know how good a push would be, but like, sometimes you need to just be a little bit aggressive. That's a whiff.
If I let this team take this high ground, we are kind of fucked.
Yeah, well, that's no surprise.
So this is literally ending a call as well.
On that side, but we're in a bad spot.
I think we need to go top now.
So we just started moving.
Yeah,
if we fight this team, they're gonna trip you out.
My what I noticed is my zone reads are better than I expected. Maybe I just got lucky with them.
Checking left. I don't see the team.
I don't know if Shiv can keep a counter. That's what one zone accurately called from what, zone 1 or 2.
Okay, that was them.
I just like added on the screen like a ding or something. So now we're instead playing. We walked up here to let us take the space. Now we're walking up and this angle instead. I'm looking for like some opening damage with a sentinel. The other team is a constant threat in our back, so we need a really good clean entry. If we do get an entry, I was maybe debating charging the sentinel. It won't be an instant headshot on blue, but it'll get him very low, and they'll have to Phoenix or heal up if they want to deal with it. But right now we're just kind of head glitching each other and looking for something. They have a massive advantage. They don't have a reason to push. And we just gotta get away in.
They don't have a GB.
No, we didn't communicate. Oh, that's a good entry there. But so we didn't communicate the win condition, which I think we should do more often. I'm actually gonna write that down. That's a good note.
I'm taking angle from
Communicate. I just have to show the shots. This was really good. So I literally took him down, I think, over 200 damage or 300 damage as a team. They instantly bangled, which holds us off. And they basically reset the fight. Very good bangled, but it screws us over. Now, I did trade, but we got screwed over. I could walk in with a bubble, was really bad. A second decision I could have made is I could have ulted. And then we could have walked up here and then played high ground, forced a fight with the health advantage. Not sure I agree too much with this, but like they were not giving us anything to work with. People are getting better and better in recognizing how to kill a Valk, and you know. And then I finally figured out the audio because like my comments are getting spammed. This was about 10 minutes after the game started, and my comments are like I always have the chat window open on my second monitor. I should probably close it, but it just started like flashing like crazy, so I fixed the audio real quick. I knew what button to press. So I don't like this position too much. I actually like the ult because it was a good call. We did find a little bit of space. We're right at the edge of zone, but we are really playing with fire here. We're right in the middle of it. We flew in, so there's a lot of focus. Now the team from high ground Valk ulted, so our back should be safe now. But we're really working with these tiny rocks, and everyone's just looking. No, they're not looking at us, they're looking at... They always look at whoever rotates in last, but there's gonna be a problem later on. Yeah, I can't even, like, it's hard because not a single place was safe. Our heals are running thin as well. We didn't have too much to begin with. I'm proud of this shot. I was funny to grief him, but like, at the end of the day, it wasn't really... I don't know what the best play would be, is to leave him or not, but maybe waited and then shot. But I thought it was like a full team, like I didn't know the G was in separate team. I'm not proud of these shots, chat. I don't want to talk about it. But I don't know my teammates' heals, but like this is a problem. You might notice this. It might be hard to see from POV, but they waste heals a lot. I wasted some heals myself, but I know they took a lot of poke. I also don't have a lot of sniper bullets because we spent so much time looting, and I didn't get to... I didn't know we had a sentinel on the high ground. If I knew that, I would have instead picked up sniper bullets. We would have had them by now. But now we're kind of just walking around and trying to figure out, like, what are we gonna do here? How are we gonna push up? TGB gives the helmet to Lepe so he can charge up a Valk ultimate. We're kind of just looking around at this point, trying to hold the space we have. We obviously have nowhere to walk in when someone closes. We're gonna have to make a play. I should have communicated this better, but I definitely wanted to push it. I should have said they want to push this, because they clearly did. And you'll see in a second. I wasn't expecting this aggression. I'm not sure I agreed with this aggression. Like, if I was in this position, I wouldn't push that. But, what do I know? Like, what I knew. Like, this isn't that bad yet. So, there's a lot of, like... A lot of waiting here. A lot of like, oh, we do nothing, we do something, we do nothing, we do something. No clear game plan, no clear, once again, win condition. We're kind of just, now in this specific situation, we do want to waste time and stay alive, but the comm wasn't there to waste time or to stay alive. I'm jumping around, I'm darting around, there's literally nowhere safe. Maybe this angle, unless someone peeks wide. Oh, there it goes. Let me just go back real quick, because... I think the call was really bad here. Let me listen for a second.
Yeah, I don't have cells. One cell for me.
Yeah, it has no cells.
I have only one bet.
Yeah, I have 2 bets.
Should have given him the bet.
How much for your
Are you safe on you?
I have it, but we can do shit with it. Maybe we can play this. This.
Yeah, wanna bubble it?
Bubble.
Alright, so that's the thing.
I know.
He's scaring me to bubble. It's a good thing he did. But I was thinking if I missed something. Now, the problem with this ultimate is that this Loba was here. And that puts us in a very, very unfortunate position. Yeah.
No.
Not only was the Loba there, but you had several teams looking at us. We had no way of getting out of that alive, unless maybe Lepe managed to heal up. But with several teams looking at us, we couldn't. So he went down. Now it's just me and TGB. We are left to the wolves.
it.
Now I ult the Loba to bring us a little bit of space, but we're kind of screwed. We are very screwed right here.
Heal up.
And that heal should have gone off, but it's whatever. And now TGB, he portals in, that's a good call. You gotta, gotta get the placement points. So we talked about this already, but the team on the rock, I should have ulted the Loba away, so we could get a little bit of space. Some of it is really hard. I will try not to blame myself. Like, it's gonna be a hard balancing act here, because I could have done a certain thing, but there's like a weird balance where, like, I'm not the IGL. If anything, I'm the co-IGL. But if the plan isn't solid, this happened a lot in qualifiers and in ranked. If the plan isn't solid, if the plan isn't clear, I don't want to overstep and waste a high effectiveness or high city cooldown like a bubble or ultimate or something, right? So that's a reason why I kind of held off on it. I could have ulted her earlier if I knew like the timing, what we wanted to do. So what's ironic here is we could just walked in. Everyone else Valk ulted in or portaled in or something. TGB just kind of walked it. He found the perfect timing to walk in and just start ratting. I'll comment over this ratting because this is some spectacularly good ratting. And also a really good read of what's happening. Look at this zone ticker in the top right as it goes down. The points are raining in and all he's doing is sitting in a corner. So now we went from +1 point to +2 points, I think. I don't know the points. Now he says he wants to free P this if they fight. This is greedy. It could work, but then it's gonna get rushed down the second he killed one team. Instead, what he should do is just push deeper. And you can already see here, the top edge of the bridge is in. The bottom and the top edge of the bridge should be in here. I don't want to micromanage when I'm dead. I think I might have started later on in the VOD. I don't think I did it too much here. But all he had to do, he didn't have heals as well because we wasted them. Or wasted some, and then we just took a lot of heat. But right now we just want to walk in. He wants to walk in. He wants to find a good spot to play.
Kind of make a play, I think.
Yeah, I mean tell in chat because I'm sitting and muted now. I really do not. Once again, I don't want to talk over him. I don't want to screw with his decision making. He has a plan in mind. I do not want to interfere with that. That is a bad idea. So instead, we're waiting.
Only for position, TJ. Don't repeat them.
Yeah, so Lepis is something smart. He said play only for position, which is definitely the call to make. Also, because it didn't start fighting next to him either.
TGB has gotten us a lot of points of rat plays.
Yeah, TGB is the master rat, dude. This is some master splinter stuff right here. He managed to walk up so much space. It hurts to watch this because literally, if it were a full team, we probably could have made these plays as well, right? Like. He's not doing anything we could have done as a full team. We probably wouldn't have if all of us were alive. We probably would have been a bit more aggressive. But watching rats usually reminds me of that. Ratting is underrated. Like genuinely, I consider ratting to be one of the best plays.
My heart is racing. I'm not even playing.
Objectively, so this is a bad thing TGB did, and he might have been choking. He might have not been thinking ahead. He just went, "Oh no, I'm getting shot at. Oh no," and he Qs and like he runs in. Let's watch what happens. And very understandably so, he dies from like 8 squads. So I called this, and this is maybe when I should have stepped in. Here, this whole area behind this little pillar was in. Now, obviously, this team kind of has a full line of sight on him. It's not, and he might get naded out, he might get shot. The keyword is might, right? Like you're working with 99% certainty of death by going here versus 50%. When it comes to rat plays, usually you just gotta be a little bit brave. You gotta go for those. That's not even being brave, honestly. That's being stupid. That's just doing the only thing you can. But I think he might have been tunneling and didn't really see that that was an option. To finish that thought, though, I do think that... Okay, so that this whole game was kind of a throw. A lot of inactivity, not a clear plan. And that ended up getting us killed. And what we also learned, which we talked about in between these games, which I do remember, this was just yesterday, was that we could have literally just walked in. We didn't have to do a Valk ult, we didn't have to do this or that. Sometimes it's the simple thing. The most underrated play, especially with the comp, we have a Wraith, we have a Valk, we have a Jibby. One thing, this has been a play for years, is just walk in. As soon as you start getting shot, you drop a bubble and you portal into whatever's nearest. that gives you a great opportunity to play the edge of zone without actually fully committing to something. So you can kind of scout out what's open. Usually the team that comes in last is the team that wins, which is something, especially now in Valk meta, people don't think about. If everyone flies into the middle, just walk in. You're gonna find something you can play from it. You don't have to rush it. Everyone else is just stumbling over each other just to get into zone. Okay, so and to finish my thoughts on, so I dropped a little bit differently here to get a better loot pattern. But to finish a thought about ratting, and I don't know how true this is. I haven't discussed this with coaches or other pros or anything. Also because it's like this. I think there's something I am missing from the equation here. So this, you have to take this with a grain of salt. But I think theoretically, ratting is underrated as hell. For about 1 to 2 years, I've always thought ratting is the play. Not not like, yo, yeah, I'm the last one, I'm gonna hide and get us RP or points or KP placement points. Just literally, if you can show that you like exist, you don't really have to do anything else. Like if you're playing a sweaty lobby where no team really wants to push the other and you have a good position, you don't have to poke, you don't have to peek, you just sit in your house, ideally maybe next to a window so you can see if someone runs up and so they can see you and that you've taken it. And then just do nothing for 10 minutes. I know it's boring, but it's objectively the best play you can do. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't third party. If there's a third party, it doesn't mean you shouldn't poke if a team runs in or something. But a lot of teams just idly shoot each other. There's zero point of doing that. And even more so, like we were talking about here, like if we just like rat walked up in the last end game, we also would have been just fine. I think it is genuinely extremely underrated, not really used by anyone, and I just don't understand why. Because you just waste so many resources, and that's something Lepe and TGB, I talked to them after this whole tournament. I told them like you gotta work on this because they really use a lot of heals poking when they shouldn't, and that's also another reason I run the sniper is because, oh yeah, I'm a Jibby, I have a gun shield, I cannot take damage, I take less damage in poke. Or peek when peeking and poking, and like it's just good for me. It allows me to charge my shields without wasting them any heals. I'm also pretty good at it. I'm also pretty good at finding the timing. And that's a mix of reading the opponent and reading like what's happening. So I never take a peek war. I usually just I acknowledge where people are at. Usually like, oh, they're in that building, they're in that building, and then I just wait. And then if they look the other way, they feel like, oh, this angle is safe. I peek out and I hit them. 60 damage, 80 damage, 110 damage, just a lot of damage. We're never going to be able to kill them from that. Even if I pick them, we can't push, usually. But I will get the free damage. You can keep doing this a few times in an endgame zone. Just inspire that confidence. Not only do you not waste shots on someone who's dodging, but you also, like I said, you don't take damage yourself, and you keep your economy fresh. That is... I think last time I did a review, this was with TGB and Gonzalez. He's now in... I think he's in this lobby. But he's not on our team, obviously. We have Lepe instead. Is they wasted those... We literally had a review of this. I don't know if I can link it up here or something. But we had a review of that run, and I was talking about how the economy was in shambles, but because they both kept wasting. I also wasted a little bit. I've gotten better at it. But it wasted a lot of resources just to poke for no reason, right? I don't think I called it. I think I called this in day 1 of ALGS with these guys, was I said, which was that if you peek and if you poke, you should only poke, poke, trade, or peek if you get you can get something out of it. And damage isn't something worth peeking for if you'll also take damage, right? If you're gonna peek, you wanna you wanna peek to show presence. If you poke, you want to poke to make sure that you can, once again, show presence, you know, stop their push or whatever, stop them from running up. Or getting a pick or securing a kill, maybe someone is downed. You want to secure that. Even if it's not your kill, you might want to secure it just to make the end game a little bit easier. But the point is, you gotta get something out of it. And if you keep taking these risks of going, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna peek out real quick. Like, those things add up. You lose 1 shield cell every few minutes, and all of a sudden you have no shield cells left, and you're in the end game, and you don't have any shields left. You have no heals at all.
They might even end
It frustrates me to no end. These guys are... I don't know if that's something... that's a discipline thing that you'll learn, or when it comes. I've talked to them. I'm sure I'll be better for the next time, but I genuinely think that it is such an overlooked part of competitive Apex. At least in the lower tiers. I'm sure like tier 1 teams understand this perfectly. Because economy is just that huge. Because just those small things that add up, and they can lead to you just not getting to play the game versus you winning it. And it's happened so many times. We get early zone, we set up, we hold, and then all of a sudden we're in endgame, we have no heals, so we lose. Even though we had the god spot, we had the spot we needed. I'd say normally there's like a window. I'd have to draw this out. This is not gonna happen for a little bit, so I'll just draw this out. I'd usually say that if we have like, this is a 10-minute win. I don't know how long you stay, like it depends on the zone, right? But let's say the zone ends, you have a god spot for literally zone, like we're looking at a epicenter zone. You're sitting like on the epicenter high ground on World's Edge. And you drop there, right? So the first 2 minutes everyone's looting, there's nothing happening here. After the first 2 minutes, people are rotating, that's a green one. And then like after that, they kind of like just either also rotating because obviously the zone will close. I don't remember the windows, it's like something like this. And this is like the end of the game. This is a 10-minute, sorry, but endish of the game, right? The red zone is when you should be poking. So you want to poke when zone is closing, people are rotating. So maybe, I guess, something like that. Like when people are rotating into the zone, when people are doing things or exposing themselves, when people are looking to move in on your great position, you gotta show presence, you gotta scare them off from pushing you, maybe even get a pick, but don't overcommit because other people are rotating at the same time. Usually you can never commit in this window. It's all about stopping the other team from doing the exact same thing. Or the other team from taking what's yours. Because if one of you force a fight, you're gonna get third party, fifth party, sixth party, and just die. Because everyone's rotating, everyone's on the move, everyone's on the way in. The second time you can peek, this will be like a little bit scattered, but like I said, if you're holding your position and people are taking a fight, start poking. If people are running up in the middle of zone when it starts closing and try to take something for you, your position, start poking. And then when you're looking for maybe an entry, you gotta get a better position, or you gotta move deeper into the zone, or you gotta look for a push so you can clear your back. Start poking, and then you're gonna have to rotate towards the end again. Wherever to like the end point. What's so great about Apex is you don't have static rules, but I think this kind of applies. I'm just trying to explain the concept with this zone as an example. And what do you do in these yellow parts when you don't poke? Do you look around? Do you walk around? Do you like expose yourself? No, you just sit around on your pretty little butt and you just wait for circumstances to change. You gain nothing from peeking except give other people a chance to farm armor, or you to ruin your own economy, or just anything. So what I did here also was I was looking at this, but I didn't keep my arm shield up, just in case it didn't see me. I do think this backfired. I don't remember though. We'll see soon. Not proud of these bow check shots, by the way. Let's not talk about those. Okay. So instead we decided we were gonna walk into mill. They were like, this is really smart. So we decided to play these boxes. These bins are super good. You have a good vantage point. You can see everything that's going on. Now this team walked on our left, which means they're gonna take the high ground on that rock. It's out of view now. And they'll have a free shots on us. So we had to move in deeper. Also, so TGB, he did a scouting portal and it worked. There was nobody in mill. So we walked up, we took the space and kind of just secured it. Decided we can play here. Now we started scouting farther ahead. Yeah, TGB is the scout. He's a Ray if he gets Q back if things go bad. So he starts walking up. I'm watching our back, sort of, just looking around, trying to listen. Something like worries me, but they say they assured me it's just really hard to hold mill. There are so many angles, very little cover, and very easy to third party it because of the lack of angles and cover. So I guess most people want to avoid playing that, and also I think the other people in the zone had a better read. I was thinking to myself, I was trying to scout out where are all the people at. I would love to take this house, which I also think TGB called for. I was, however, waiting for his portal, because if we just run up there, we would probably get blasted by every team already camping in the zone.
How much for next portal?
But we did have the read it was gonna end around there, north of mill probably. Did I see something there? I don't.
is good, guys.
I'm not juiced right now, so I have a bit of coffee, but... Also, half an hour in. Holy hell, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. That's all I'm saying. Holy crap.
I think we can also play behind that if we need, okay?
What?
Like the rocks there.
Yeah, let's see where it's pulling.
People shooting here, in the beans.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this climbing. I've hit this climb so many more times than other legends, but it's just really hard on Jibby because one, you're fat, and B, you're really tall. So it's really hard to do some movement climbing, but I managed. Now this is where the boat chick comes in handy. A little bit like the triple take, it doesn't take as much to run it, and also you'll find arrows kind of scattered everywhere, so it's a really good thing to use. Has a super high knock ability. Now I'm starting to look ahead a little bit, scouting out. I don't know if honestly, I think TGB and Lepe, they were too focused on the back here. They probably should have looked ahead and tried to figure out like what the next play would be.
Behind the rock.
Also because of all these angles, they're extremely punishing on dude, I cannot. Are you guys noticing these stutters? I do not know if it's something with my PC or if my stream actually does stutter like this from time to time, because I haven't noticed this in my recordings, but maybe I should look into my bitrate or internet or something if we're having these issues.
Look at this guy on the top.
There's a sniper. Cracked him.
Yeah, there's a sniper. Gone.
We also have a team here sniping, guys. Watch out.
So this is sort of what I'm doing, you see? Like, I'm not constantly applying pressure because then nobody will ever peek. They'll just sit inside. Yeah. I kind of lull them into false sense of security. A good example is here. You just keep that spot in mind. So I can abuse it later on and reap the fruits.
There's no need, I think, TJ.
I think it's good.
That's like my secret to sniping, I guess, and like how I consistently do so much damage in these lobbies.
We're good, just hold.
There's just so many angles very often you can't like reliably say, oh, I'm never gonna expose myself to this angle. You need to adjust. And I sort of punish that in a way.
I'm not watching anything, just looting real quick.
Now I'm looking for more arrows because I'm just like, okay, we don't want to waste time just staring. I want to be able to get something out of this, get more loot, get more positioning, you know, just get anything. Time is a resource, just standing around, you kind of waste it. Yeah, we're holding a position, but it's not the end game. We're gonna have to rotate anyways. As well, but I just want to make sure we are in our best possible situation going into this. Now this team just Valkyrie ahead of us. I think this is a bit risky to just stand and look up into the air like that on top of the roof. Also, I don't like holding this roof too much because there isn't really much cover.
They're gonna feed into that team now.
I think they actually did a really good Valkyrie here. I don't know if they died for this.
Yeah, no, he's not.
But I guess pushing into the high ground on a building is kind of difficult, or onto the upper floor even. I'm tired, sorry. We're 39 minutes in on this recording. Wait, how am I on space? Are we gonna manage this? I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, we're gonna be fine. That's just a lot of space. We have a while to go. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying it and watching this far. Like I said, I'm 40 minutes into the recording. If you liked the video so far, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, that would be great. So now what we're looking at is just basically, once again, turning back our backs. The odds of a team pushing us from high ground is slim. Now, this is when the positioning starts becoming a problem. Now, I walk behind the only cover we have. They were using the same cover as well for high ground. But yeah, we had to kind of just move.
Guys, we have to get good angles on this, please.
So now they were scouting. I don't have info. Like, once again, I don't have angles. I don't have info. I'm just staring at a wall. I guess it's a mud hut wall or something. I don't know what's up with that. Point is, I have zero info what's happening there. We're relying on TGB. I'm gonna be quiet.
I need some SUCC.
They might be coming here.
Good comps.
Yeah. Making a TP.
Making a TP was unclear because I didn't know he meant that team. We were talking about different teams. They got a pick on Wraith, super huge. I didn't know she went back. I just fermited it just in case. Now they pushed up onto the back here to clear it. The super huge plays from Lep and TGB here. He's cleaning them up. I took a little bit of damage from this guy. I was very exposed. Just quick hot swap.
We go back to our spot.
So Levi called us back. Super good call to just reset and don't give up. You don't want to give up high ground, so you don't want to give up spots like this, focusing on closing out a fight. I don't want to waste time chasing a Valkyrie, especially because she'll just fly away. So instead we went back. I called the portal back, maybe a bit risky. Some pretty good shots with the bow.
this.
Nice! Ulti, ulti! I'm going angles.
Yeah, you go for that. You go for
So I don't know. I don't even know what the rest of the team went. Apparently, I think the ditch turn went around the edge here. I don't know exactly what happened.
It's all you. It's all you.
But it seemed that my ult didn't hit anyone else, and it didn't seem to be anyone else. It would be more of KP if we did a little bit better.
Watch your right side. Watch your right
Is
side.
it free?
Look at the save. Look at the save.
And now, look. Once again, I've never peeked this angle, and now all of a sudden there's a team there. 3 picks, or 3 damage. And I
Come here.
don't think it got me purple, but got me really close. Now, Lepe decided, okay, we're gonna fly in.
What if it's not free? We have
Very risky call. The zone just closed. We have 0 info. I was looking around a little bit, but I don't think he's scouted. He just goes, alright, let's Valkylt. Okay, sure.
below a house.
He says land below a house. CDB says land below a house. Now, every below a house are taken, I think. We don't know. We didn't scout. We didn't do a good game plan. And I know for a fact, whoever was here, they went all the way around this rock, and they're here right now in the water. They must have been.
Left side.
Or they're doing something I don't know about.
Exposed for that. Fuck.
It's good.
Now, Lepe ensures that this is good. I saw already a big flaw of this plan. There is 0 cover, maybe in the water? I don't know, I did not like that. At the same time, there was a solo here. We could have dropped him for immediate kill points and positioning. And then we could have walked out or done anything. We do have a Wraith Valk combo. We do have a minute until the zone starts closing. We did not have a reason to rush into this. This is a great position. It's just, there's so much pressure when you fly in once again. When you fly in, every team will be looking right at you.
Where do we play here?
We play behind the cannon.
This is behind the cannon. Very bad call, Lep. I'm sorry.
On the left. We have a team on the left.
Where is behind the cannon? I have bubble. Because I did not see a single place which was safe.
TP under this out.
That's a good call to TP under the house, but it came late.
Play on me.
Tipping.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but someone did the arc star trick on me, and I just think that's cruel irony. Right there, that was the one. The arc started top of the bubble at the perfect timing, so it would fall down on us. Now I spotted it, so I jumped out of the way, but I still took damage for it. I took the portal. I crawled back to the portal to do this, but we didn't have cover. The whole server was looking at us. I actually got Krabered. This was bound to happen.
Be right back.
Then we kind of were good in this corner if you think about the way I was talking about ratting. So I called.
I killed. More coming now. Take the portal. Take the portal.
He should have taken the portal, which I should have called earlier. But then he probably would have been able to maybe even res me, because I wasn't really taking much pressure there, but we were kind of screwed from the initial call there from Lepe.
Yeah, I don't know why you wanted to go there.
So once again, looking at this again, I haven't even gone over this with our review yet. We have 2 coaches that have been helping us a little bit. But looking at this, definitely, it's kind of obvious what happened. Obviously, we shouldn't have Valk there. Why should we not have Valk there? It's because there's no cover. It's too early. It's a great position to take, but it's too early. If we go down to... Also, didn't predict this specific ending, so I guess it's a miss if you're still counting Shiv. But here, it ended right here.
Her gun, she's just literally poking.
In the water right outside that. So if you had the team that had the Kraber, I think ended up winning this. Because it took the gods. This is a great place to be. But it took a lot of pressure from the specific angle they pushed us from, so it didn't work out. What we should have been doing is, as I was saying, for the first part, we didn't have to rush at all. Secondly, we could have just... So we could, with that in mind, we could just walked up. I think we've safe. This is actually a great screen to be on, because we probably could have walked up about to this point with cover. This whole part is super exposed. That team can see us. That team can see us. That team, like everyone can see us. It's a horrible position to be in. But we could have walked up that way and then Valkulted, even though that's risky, or maybe even portaled. We could have seen that that's open. Lepe made a decision to just send it. We could even have gone on the right side. We had 0 info net, but he made a decision. We're just gonna send it with the Valkult. And that got us killed. When in reality, if we did, as I said, just played late, scouted opportunities, and adapted instead of ham-fisting a play, we would have ended up better.
Ash somewhere on left side.
Sometimes it just goes better with a little bit of butter. And so we could also land on the Ash there, which I felt like was a good play. But I don't want to overcall. I should probably start co-IGLing harder. Because like when I notice stuff, I usually call them back when they do something really dumb. Every once in a while. So that's two Storm Point games.
I don't need. Let's move. We need to move.
Yeah, we need to.
Remember, you're not safe in these anymore. So I'm gonna skip the start here because there wasn't much noteworthy stuff here. We're kind of looting. I got a R301. I got a 30-30 this time. The reason I like the 30-30 over a sniper is because it has a pretty good damage output. It's about, I think, up to 70 for a body shot if it's fully charged. Not 70, it's like 60 or 50 something. But it also uses heavy ammo, which everyone packs, so you can kind of restock throughout the game. Sniper ammo is great, but it is hard to restock it. I've had the 30-30 act as a... I know I talk down on it a lot, but it always works out for me. So I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. Save us a little bit of time. We had to read this would end antenna-ish. So what we ended up doing, I'm gonna go from here, without spoiling too much. We had to scan, because we had to scan this time around. It's gonna end antenna-ish. So we started walking in on antenna, we're looking and making sure it's all safe. Middle of the zone here. We wanted to take the middle of the zone, because then we can keep on scanning. Now, odds are that the team who did initially drop the antenna, they were here. So we just have to see what happens.
Then we can stay in mid. I can do the base.
Be careful.
Bit of a monk guys running in here, and TGB called us in, reeled us in really quick. But it worked out. Now, they were fighting over there. I was kind of looking for something. But now, the objective is just kind of bunker up, right? Try to get some loot. Prepare for the end game. My duty as a Gibraltar, I want to get some picks or poke. Sorry, the words are too close. Okay.
You need a 3x Ottr?
Yeah. Get some poke, and we decided this. I think yesterday or the day before this tournament that when we are set up, Lepe, or at the very least, he's on controller, so maybe not Lepe, but at least TGB. I knocked over my coke. At least TGB should be looking around for loot, because I can't. I'm fat. My movement is good, and I know what I need, but I'm fat. I cannot make a lot of stuff happen. I'll get absolutely beamed. Lepe is a controller, so he's a little bit scuffed on looting, a bit scary, and TGB is a Wraith and everything. So when we are in this situation, I'm mostly like, okay, we're just gonna camp and wait and let him run around. Once again, what you're noticing is I don't trade shots. I look around, I look for easy shots, I look for shots where I don't get shot back. I normally do this with my gameplay in general, though I switch up angles, I play more aggressive. Now in a comp setting, I can't really do that. But once we start poking each other, it's a losing game for both of us. Instead, I want to make sure that every time I peek, I get maximum value. Now he's shooting me. We traded, so I back up. Now I got the better of the trade, because he's an Ash, I get a headshot, I'm a Gibraltar. He got like a body shot and he broke my shield. Not my shield, my gun shield. So that was still fine, but still, I don't want to take the damage. TGB is all over the place. That was on me for not paying attention fully. But yeah, they're just grabbing a little bit of loot. We still have incredible control of our antenna. This will disappear. I don't know if we could try to play a little bit more and abuse this. I think I do call this at one point, where we should try to abuse the fact that we have this control of our antenna and kind of stretch ourselves a little bit. Now this means we're stretched thin, but as pressure throughout the zone ramps up, that means that we're kind of safe. And what that also means is that, yeah, pressure gets ramped up, but TGB is sitting in a different house. And if a team sees TGB there, they're not going to push it because they think, oh, maybe that's a whole team or something. They're not going to go for it. And that means that if it would end in antenna, all of a sudden, we have so many more teams.
Heavy from the thing, TGB?
They have so many more teams in the area, but our immediate next door neighbor hasn't moved in, so to speak. Now we're doing the beacon play in about 40 seconds. So I actually like this play in general. Great rotation in. I think we are the closest out of all teams other than the antenna team to take this position. So we end up taking it. We beat the antenna team on it, or they had a different read. Maybe they didn't have a Valk for some... I think almost every team had a Valk, especially in Storm Point. But maybe they didn't have a scan character for some reason that it didn't get a double scan. And they were like, oh, we're gonna rotate somewhere. Don't know for sure, but in any case, that's what happened. Once again, I'm kind of looking around, just trying to see what's happening.
Let's go for the beacon.
Fastest way on this side.
Now we're climbing up, because there's no real pressure. I bubble.
2 seconds.
Bubble it. Bubble it. Okay.
Don't look around. Peek on my gun shield. Try not to overstay it. If I re-peek the same angle, it's going to do damage on me, so I don't want to re-peek it.
We're good.
TGB got beamed for no reason.
Yeah, we can play even underneath after
Okay, this zone is interesting. So obviously it's not gonna end on antenna. Obviously it's gonna end in this area.
Do you know what I'm moving deeper, or you wanna stay?
Yeah, when the zone
Now I'm prodding and going, should we try to go deeper? Because if we stay here, we're gonna be an edge team.
goes deep.
Wait, let's try to understand this one. Is this gonna end in high ground here? I think
Now
maybe.
it's gonna end here.
No, I think Lepe said here. No, Lepe said here. TGB said there. I think that's a lack of experience talking. We haven't gotten into scrim on Storm Point that much.
Better to play like outside here.
We stay here for now. Listen, trust in me. We stay here for now. After this, we have this fucking tree to play.
Yeah,
It's this zone.
I know. Look at where I ping. Look at where I ping. You see behind.
I've never seen a zone end here, but I also barely played Storm Point when it was in ranked. I despised this map.
All I know is
And we haven't scrimmed, so.
a team playing there have to be super loud. Nobody think is gonna pull there.
Okay, so what I'm saying here, I'm gonna see if we can pull the map up. I was explaining this to the team right now. I'm gonna pull the map up, so I just go through my thought process here, chat. Very quickly. Okay, so now this assumed other people have the worst read, the same read we have. We know plenty of teams are in antenna, thinking it was antenna. Okay, we know this for a fact. Let me just pull up the EpiPen real quick. I know most people don't want me to like stop too much, but I do want to just show this for the sake of emphasizing what I want to show. Where's my EpiPen? Where is my EpiPen? There. And then, man, it is not working with me today. I don't restart my PC anymore, so that might be why. It's not. Oh, okay. So, okay. Is gonna illustrate it. Everyone, so it's like a team here. Jesus. Did not have to. Okay, so we know there's a team here, there's a team here, there's a team here-ish, here maybe. We know there's a team. Oh, that's probably one more somewhere. We know there's a team here. We know there's a team, I think, not a team there. Probably underneath or so. So, actually, the middle of antenna was kind of uncontested, but they did a good job holding them off. This is what happens when you play big. You will secure all that space. At this moment, however, I don't think people had to read it was going to end down here. I might be completely wrong, but I'm confident when I say that. As such, my immediate thought when I said push deeper is, okay, if we Valcult, we can fly over the mountain and we can play here. That not only puts us in an edge position, but it gets us out of this pressure from this team, this team, this team. Because if we get a fight here, all these teams will push, right? It puts us out of that immediate danger, but it also gives us a chance to play from the side here. Because every team will collapse in this area. This is a big no-no, don't go here zone. And whatever team plays here is going to be fine. Maybe there's one team here, maybe there's two teams here. But there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 spots you can play in the next zone. So there's so much to work with. Oh, it's a smiley face. That's cute. It even has a nose. There's so much we can work with here, but instead we chose to stay here. So that's what I was saying. I wasn't clearly communicating it.
No, it's odds of a team. No, it's.
And then we just kind of just. So instead, what happened? I went ahead too far.
It's odds of a team playing there have to be super loud. Nobody think is gonna pull there. I don't know if it's safe, but
Obviously, kind of explaining it to them, but I didn't believe in that call. They thought it would pull towards the middle, I guess. There's something I learned from a lot of experiences. You never want to be in the middle of stuff. You always want to be the outlier, right? You want to be the team that's in that weird angle, the weird spot. Coming out from that one side nobody's watching. It just makes your life so much easier. Especially because we have this scan and nobody else has that information. Not a single person for the next 2+ minutes know that the zone's going to pull like that. We are in an incredible position to rotate deeper, because not only does every team think it ends here and their position like that, but none of them have the like omnipotence, right? Like none of them have the foresight that we do. We know it's not gonna go here. So one team Valculted in here, I think, when I wasn't looking, and they're kind of prodding for something to happen. I'm just looking around, making sure to control the space, not letting people run around. Typical Jibby stuff, or sniper Jibby stuff. Now this here, to finish our kill somehow. I wasted a lot of nades because I wanted to do that, but they both Lep and TGB took a lot of pokes, we had to back off. But if we had to make a play there, if we had to run in somehow or something, we had to make something happen here. TGB could also have gone for the window here or something. It's just the inactivity, man. And now we lost our window of opportunity because now every team is looking at us. We pull back, which is good. He went in with the portal, which is good. But now they get to reset. The whole team's watching. We no longer have a way to push this.
I will not let them res. Did they res?
I do not know.
I have no idea how I damaged him through the wall as well, but happens. So that's a missed opportunity for some KP, which, and also because I think they had a Loba ult, that would be very useful for us, I think.
Did they res?
Oh, there's the Loba ult.
Loba is cute, or altered. Man.
Yeah, it was.
So passiveness costs you a lot of opportunities. When you play a game like this, a lot of opportunities will present themselves. In this specific case, I made us an opportunity that they should have made something happen with it. Just at the top of my head, I don't know if TGB had a portal, but if he would have made a portal onto the back side of that house, maybe he could have tried to pinch them or something. They had both doors, so we couldn't make a play that was kind of blocking us from pushing in. But if we had a portal in the back, that would kind of divert the attention and we could maybe make something happen. Instead, nothing happened, and we ended up in this position where we have nothing going on for us. And the thing is, right, if we're talking about economy, wasted play where you can't, like we didn't fully commit to a push, where you used resources to heal up, to poke, to nade, it heavily impacts your wallet, and that's exactly what happened there. We are minusing resources because of them, or because of this push. Not going the way we wanted it. We invested into it and didn't pay off. If we had pushed, we'd be able to get them. And this happens a lot too, as had happened in the past. It's usually not as black and white as this. In some cases, for example, we've had moments, I don't know if it happened in this final, so I'm just mentioning it, but we've had moments where we get a squad wipe, but we don't get to loot them. Or we get kills, we don't get to loot, and it just costs us so much for 1 KP, where it's almost not even worth it to poke because of how expensive, or peek or poke or look for something, because of how little we got out of it. Oh, I took a shot from the side I wasn't expecting, but I guess it made sense that they would know I was scanning here.
Yeah.
So now we got this scan, it pulls down there, where Lepe called. Also, it sucks, we took the ammo and dropped it, and the low boy was yoinked it. Probably shouldn't have left it on the floor, especially with all the space I have. I'm making a call again. If we could balloon down to that side, we could probably make something happen. Once again, I just think that
let's
just listen to this.
Odds of people being there are very low. That's all I'm thinking. They're higher than before, but still, it's either that or a meat grinder. Now we're gonna be safe in here, but it's gonna be like teams all around that we won't be able to move.
Yeah, I agree. I think
fortune favors the bold.
That's a good saying, Ottr. You're very smart. Thank you, Ottr. Fortune favors the bold, guys. So basically,
You're not gonna get to kill the teammates, I think.
Fortune favors the bold, meaning that you gotta make some risks. You gotta take some risks. You gotta make some take some chances, or you will not get any results. It's literally that simple. We needed to just make a decision. Now we're kind of forced into where we are. We can't really fight this well because odds of us getting free third parties are very high. With all the teams surrounding us and holding every single angle. TGB's fishing, sort of. But it's very, like, bad for us right now because we just took so much time. If it would have been bolder, the second we saw that they didn't pull here, we would have secured a way better position. Instead, we played like you know, like kittens and just took it easy. And it cost us an opening that was gifted to us by the Apex gods. To this day, do not know how that stuck me. Because it went through the door. I'd have had like a lineup in a gap or something.
yeah, we need to.
I'm watching zone.
So I think no, that's not. We don't have a communicated plan, but it seems to be basically sit around and see what happens. See if a team pushes, see if a team makes a mistake, so we can capitalize on that. If teams fight rotating in from the north, that means that we can push up and third party, which is a pretty solid plan. A team Val called it in, but it was just a rat.
Solo is dead.
They wasted bubble down, but like you can't fight here. There's too many teams. You can't force something. Rather.
Hey guys, I have an idea. But we're gonna...
I still don't agree with the Loba pick though. I think the Loba pick is a crutch pick if anything, especially in these types of lobbies. Alright, so he called, I'm just gonna like, he called, we have a knock, and I just started sending it. I was not waiting for this call. I started running.
Nice.
Easy cleanup.
Looking around, there should be more. Here's more.
Just applying a little bit of pressure so they can't do anything. I'm gonna like just looting, make sure I have good loot because I had really bad loot. Kraber, there's nothing anymore. I had to just hot swap like crazy. Ended up not getting anything out of it, but it was a clean fight. We got loot, we got kills, so we got a bit of a chance to reset here. Not only did we get the loot, the kills, we got positioning and space. All the teams that were nearby, they all converged in this house. I think it was 3 teams or more. And that means that all of a sudden, we can play edge, because there's nobody else on the edge, right? It's all ours to control and make plays from.
But we need to move so fast.
They're still there? Okay.
We cannot.
30 seconds.
So I do R301 massive now. There's no point in having sniper. Just go mid-range or distance, especially on storm point, because storm point gets very open and very big. So I do have a massive, despite what I said before, because now there's no point in having a sniper, like a real one.
We can move closer by this fucking shit.
And this is funny too, so funny tidbit. TGB and Leopard did not know you could shoot through this.
It's a Kraber, you cannot stand still in here.
And it would have gotten Krabered.
Don't get fucking picked by the Kraber.
Sounds dumb to me.
And it literally would have gotten picked if the Kraber was looking, because he didn't understand it.
Fuck them, let them go.
He said let them go, right here.
They're holding.
I had a 1 clip right there, easy 1 clip. Then I was like, alright, I'm gonna shoot him anyways.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Because I decided to go against the call. And, but that would have been huge, I think, because they wouldn't have been able to run in, they would have died to zone. He's helping us not get caught. We could probably have walked a bit weird in the ALGS, but basically we're gonna go. He goes into scout. Now we have info, super valuable. And I'm trying to see if we can land here or something, so we can come in late. Once again, whoever comes in the latest usually wins the fight or whatever. And there's literally, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 teams, depending on how you count it. You're surrounding us, having their own fights. Absolutely bonkers right now. Just kills flying in all over the place. Alright, good calls from Lepe to start us. I'm PTSD watching this, by the way. I did not know he sat there to let me get the pick. That was risky as hell. There we go. Super huge fight though. Just needed to reset and turn. Because now we have 5 squads left. More teams are still fighting in front of us. Ideally, we were all ready to reset, ready to go again, go to the next fight, get more KP, get more positioning. And I got stuck. I was starting to panic too, because the window was closing, people are dying, we're losing. This was a game we could have won, I think.
I don't know how to get out. I'm too fat.
Is that I was just struggling?
Like, loot everything on the box.
TGB was really smart here, and he was like, yeah, you gotta just take everything from the boxes. This is what you gotta do in this situation. So dropping everything I had so I could clean it out.
You can drop everything.
Now I ended up dropping everything in the same spot, and that came back to bite me. I've never had to do this before in my life. It'll be a lot easier next time. I'll just empty my inventory and then pick up the whole inventory. But now what happens is everything got dropped into one spot. It was super awkward to loot. We had 20 seconds here since I got out, and I just couldn't. The more smarter play here would be to just loot a box, which I think I ended up doing.
Any bets? I drop all my bets.
It was really awkward just spending so much time on this, and it didn't let me get to my inventory. Like if I could get my backpack, I could pick everything up. It hurts watching it the second or the third time, because I posted a clip of this. So now Lepe walks up. This is one of the few teams that literally finished fighting right here. Now they died just now, so the timing for us to fight here is still great, but we could have been earlier or whatever. We could have better positions to make this call. I'm walking up, I'm bubbling, so we can play the fences here a little bit. We have a slight bubble advantage on the timing. I'd also have kind of bad positioning because they're gonna get shot in the back from the rest of the zone. We're kind of chilling here. I'm just looking for a little bit extra loot before something happens or pops off. I followed give one call. This is what I did here. Is I turn around and I just went, okay, we gotta commit on this. Zone is closing. This is taking too long. I do this a lot. It's kind of a bad strategy in all honesty, but I was like, I'm just gonna send it. It's good to have a little bit of balls sometimes. Bam. And then we got the cleanup. But now, because of all the time wasted, but because of me being stuck and like the late fight, the whole lobby's looking at us, and we kind of don't have any cover to play here. Like, it's easy to make like blame that on the game, but like, yeah, I'm gonna do it anyways. And now we walk up on the wall here. Super smart to get the rock, but obviously both teams know we are here, so we're not in a great spot. I'm waiting for a bubble, spamming Q. Basically, if we got it, I have no idea where that guy came from. And then we just died. But there was nothing we could have done differently there, I think, because like the timing was good. So the two things were like early on, we could have decided to fly here. We could have played this early in the game. I think the team that won ended up, they came from here or they were like down here in the thing. Instead, we just made it way too hard for us, and we also could have pushed. Or if I hadn't gotten stuck, we could have made more positional plays and made something happen for ourselves. When you're one thing I've noticed is because time is a currency, is that the later you are on things, the more difficult it just gets. As a rule of thumb, it just gets really difficult, unless you are intentionally late. But then we're talking like in the last few seconds, you're at the edge of the zone. That's when you. It's like paradoxal, anyways, right? Like you have if I pull up a graph real quick, right? How. So this is the start of a game, this is the end of a game. This is paradoxal how the pressure kind of goes something like this. It ramps up, it ramps up and ramps up and goes higher and higher. Like, you know, really, I actually have to zoom out for this. Oh, hold on. Right, like, and it goes even more vertical and almost parabolic. The pressure goes up. I don't mean pressure as in, oh, I'm gonna choke, but just like there's so much outside pressure, so a little space to work with. And then in the last few seconds of zone on endgame, because of the pressure, a lot of openings present themselves, and in a backwards way, it just drops down. That's right before the game ends. You can make the biggest endgame plays right in this little window right here. There's also like a small place you can make like something like that at times, like when the zone closes and whatnot. But that's a general rule of thumb I'm talking about here. Like I said, a little bit paradoxal. Now we're on World's Edge, and we got to drop on World's Edge, no problem. So we didn't get a scan, but the first ring showed that it's probably gonna pull to this house right here. When we had the scan, we go, okay, that's awesome. So we ran and we went to get a scan. Once again, I have a Bokek, I have an R9. I would rather have a R301, but an R9 will do. So what we're doing, once again, moving stuff into the middle. This is loot that can just chill. We don't need to have it. Lie around. And we're being very like disciplined. We're saying we just have to stay in this house. We were very certain that they would end right on us. Very confident, and as such, we made every play to make sure we were set for that end game. I had already berated them for wasting supplies earlier this series. So they were a little bit more disciplined, and this is exactly in this situation where you have the god spot. You have to be disciplined with your loot. You have to be disciplined with your thing. Otherwise, I think I had like a really important DM here. I don't remember what it was. I was talking to the other team. Just kidding. There we go, team. So anyways, another team runs up, and we caught them. That I would have missed that too, so that's on me for lacking. But we got them to back up with me peeking. I got some damage in. That's awesome.
Where are they?
But we just got to reset a little bit. Now this is really bad place from TGB playing there, I think, because he really exposed himself. They didn't have to risk it. I'm even telling them you don't have to poke. I sit there with my bow kick and say just chill. I'm poking. Don't have to make any risks here. It hurts when you have like I have the FAQ in my hand, right? Like I know what's gonna happen. I know exactly how this is gonna end, and I'm not gonna spoil it just because you hadn't seen it, but it hurts to watch our decisions leading up to the point. There's not too much to learn. As he called one on my door because the caustic team came up and it took a position underneath us. Yeah, he called it now. We beat the caustic team to the punch. I think this was maybe a skyhook team. We beat a lot of teams to the punch because we had this early read. We took an early gamble. Fortune favors the bold again. And we just decided that, okay, we're gonna play this, and way too early, and a lot of teams missed out on a great positioning. This Kazakhstan team ended up taking the position underneath because they can't push. There are too many teams around. If they try to siege, they would just get shot in the back and die, get third-partied. Usually what happens when a team runs up like this and you have a position is they might prod a little bit, they might try to make an entry. You don't have to kill them. You just have to not give them anything to work with. You want to hide, you want to show presence, but you don't want to like get cracked or take damage or anything like that. Just hold them off for maybe 10-20 seconds at most, and they realize, oh, I can't make anything happen there, you know, or they even get harassed by the rest of the area. So I noticed something really weird here, which I'm actually going to look into either tomorrow or today, which was that for some reason I was activating the traps through the door, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not sure if this is because of I don't know if everyone in Legend or every Legend can do this. I don't know if this is a Jibby thing. Like is Fat, can Caustic do it? I wasn't aware, but it seemed to have something to do with me being close to the close to the door and close to the Caustic trap. For whatever reason. I'm looking at it now, I'm pretty sure it had to have made my hands sticking out through it, which would mean that it works on every Legend. Once again, we have to run a little bit of experiments to figure that out. And I was just thinking to myself doing this, that is this ALGS legal? Am I allowed to do this? I was kind of starting to think to myself that, wait, am I gonna get DQ'd for abusing this? Like, I do not know. I don't think there's a rule against a specific interaction, but you know, I want to err on the side of caution. And that's just me experimenting, so wiggling around your mouse makes sense if your hand clips through. They bubbled, but we wasted our heals here. They've wasted so many resources. I have no idea how the Caustic keeps getting new traps, but he's probably molding right now. Oh no, even now more with the EMP. He has no traps. Except the one I triggered.
We're good. Don't waste out. Stop peeking now.
So this was before I realized maybe this was illegal. I was kind of trolling.
Oh, I love this.
And playing around with it. But honestly, man, this was some risky stuff. I just feel like at this point I wouldn't even go for it if I was the Caustic.
Well, you can't punish them.
Yeah, like he was looking for something and he kept like wasting. TGB kept wasting a lot of loot trying to, as you said, punish them. It's a Caustic team, so like even if we get, they're even a Jibby, but it is a Caustic team. So if we do get a pick, they'll just play in the smoke and reset. We can't push that ever. Especially with outside pressure. If there's no pressure, we can make something happen. But if the whole server is looking at us, we're just gonna get third-partied and die, and then you're gonna continue ratting. There's a string for Caustic. It allows you to actually utilize the rat.
Oh, he's trying to shoot me now.
The rat place I was talking about before. That is incredibly valuable as a pick. You do lose some mid-rotational abilities, but on certain maps and sort of many zones on those maps, you will benefit from it.
Is it jiggling? I think when I jiggle, it might clip through or something, so I don't know.
I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead here, because we're still just kind of waiting. Same thing happening. We're talking a little bit. Just trying not to waste, just kind of ratting. Just waiting for the next zone. 50 seconds, 53, 26. We're looking around, nothing noteworthy happening, but we did see that the zone doesn't pull on us.
I think we can take the tunnel.
Absolutely horrible luck. Now, Lepe is saying maybe we can take the tunnel.
Yeah, it is.
We're looking ahead, trying to figure out what's the next move. This has to be a survey ending.
We can just play edge and gatekeep.
Let me hear. Still one team there.
Yeah, TGB getting info. Like, that's kind of his job now. He's looking around to get info. This has an incredibly valuable currency here to know where everyone is playing, so you can map out what's going to happen next.
Keep sitting on the door, I guess, and I'll look for... Because I didn't sit on Sniper Tower either, but that doesn't mean much.
Yeah, I'm also looking around trying to give it as much information as possible so Lepe can make a good call as the main caller. We're not in an immediate danger that we have to push. We could also just choose to push, play edge. If you already are edge, odds are you're kind of confined to the edge. That looked a bit sus. That was just me flicking my mouse and being a papaya.
Are we on cells?
But yeah, so that's the thing with when you are in edge, you're kind of like stuck on playing edge the rest of the game, and at that point you should just lean into it and play edge properly. You try to make the cross from edge to center zone, you will usually get burned doing so. This wasn't communicated, this is just kind of like a back in the head thing, but I'm saying it now. We should probably keep that in mind. Just continue playing edge and play edge properly. Like, I'm gonna write it down, why not? If we are on edge and zone shifts, when zone shifts, continue playing edge unless we say see a way in. Okay, so we're still kind of waiting. Something's gonna happen very soon, so I don't want to make the call to. Okay, so TGB went down and looking for something, and he actually got a crack on the Jibby.
There's a team behind.
And the Caustic was out of position. I double peeked with Lepe. This wasn't set up or anything. I think we should have tried to set it up, but we kind of just adapted really fast. We got 2 picks. We know they're pretty low. They're playing Caustic. They should be easy to kill. Massive stuff here. What sucks is the ALGS set off the traps. They should have cancelled them. It would have given us a little bit of space. I'm cracked here. This is super risky. I was hoping to maybe get a nade off. Not only that, but I'm getting hit by every single rock. So this took a little while. We should follow that instantly. We could have saved 5 seconds, but I started parroting the call. We started going inside. So we all went inside. Lepe comes a bit late. And then we just heal up. Because we have the advantage here, right? We have not only 1, we have 2 picks on the enemy team. The last guy's low. We know exactly where they are. But we didn't get picked, so we can reset this and then just go right back down and just clean them up with virtually 0 risk. What I do now is I don't go straight into the box because we know there was a team right here. So I walk up on this side, and look at that, they're right there. So both TGB and I think we're thinking the same thing. We show presence, and all of a sudden they back up a little bit. TGB also broke him, the fuse, so he backed off afterwards. So super good plays overall. Super proud of this team fight. It wasn't called properly, which I don't like. You know, the things can get very messy if the comms aren't right, if the setup isn't right. But instinctively, is that what you say? We played it correctly, and it worked out in our favor. So now we are still stuck on the edge. We are not much more fortunate than we were, you know, half a minute ago. But at least we don't have a team directly underneath us that will shoot us in the heels if we do opt to run away. We get another scan off. I start looking around, get info. Once again, the valuable currency. One of the most valuable currencies is info. And we see the 2 teams here. I'm just shooting. That's another valuable currency is pressure. Another valuable currency is... It's funny how some of the most valuable currencies in metagame, in Apex metagame, are not things that are... I can't think of the word, but the point is... It's not ammo, it's not heals, it's not shields, it's things like space... time, info, positioning, like those things aren't tangible, I guess. Fungible? They're going for the Archer play, you saw it too. So they're running here for some reason, presumably because there was a team in the cave. I am not proud of my position here. I should have walked up in the top right. Nevertheless, I am here. So I'm sending in here because I see an opening. I'm overcalling whatever call because we know I didn't have bubble. I get a good beam on Jibby. Should have a repicked, but I do. And get myself knocked on it because they turned for no reason. It made sense because like when you're backed up against a corner, you have to throw yourself at someone like that. TGB does a great job here. He throws me his armor so we can reset. Thankfully, also had like no loot for some reason, but thankfully nobody pushed us, but this could have gotten a lot uglier if someone did push us. We're kind of still playing cover, but you never know. I think a lot of people were just focused on looking forwards. I should have got a knock. That is me playing my role wrong. Okay, let's listen. Let's listen to what happened here, because I do not like what happened here. This was really bad. So Lep is calling, watch this side. And now he screams, watch, overrides it, says watch behind. And I was following Lep is called, was the team fighting. Right there, I could have gone in kills, could have gone in space, but he's screaming at us, watch behind. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll turn around.
Alright. Bro, we cannot watch only one spot.
And now he calls me back, and now we missed some of the action, some of the openings. And I'm walking with Lepe. Because not all of us need to look behind. And we could have... I don't know if this was the most valuable ultimate. Like, I'll get value from it because they use the bubble, it'll hit them. But I didn't set up the play. My teammates weren't watching this, so we couldn't actually get KP out of it. Me walking forward was kind of a throw as well. I thought this was safe, but it wasn't. And now, no longer, I don't really have a good read of what's happening. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna bubble here. I think, honestly, looking at this now, there are two ways this could have gone. And we did every single thing wrong. As soon as I bubbled, we could have played from a bubble, secured kills on these guys. And then... this whole space is completely open. This was because of TGB overcalling, like, oh, watch behind, watch behind. Like, he took us out of our scouting phase. We didn't scout, we didn't know. This whole space was empty. There was not a single team here, here, or like here. And when someone closes, this little lip right here is still in. So you can head glitch on the high ground here. It's not perfect, but it would keep us in. And you will see, instead he just portals straight into it. I think we're gonna call this doing a TGB at this point. Because he just goes straight, this is the second time. He just walks straight into the zone like a lemming. Now Lepe calls we play there, which is behind the building. I'm just following the call at this point. I have incredible little, I'm a bit disoriented. Like I'm being called, like TGB is calling one thing, Lepe is calling one thing, there's 100 things happening. I'm trying to just like make sense of it. Get some points out of it, like just stabilize. It's super confusing for me. Once again, the right side is still completely open. Not only that, but TGB is right next to it. This high ground here. And then instead we walk up here. I do not like this call. He said walk on this. Meanwhile, that guy and that guy is watching me, a fat man, walk up, just offering myself as bait. If anything, honestly, like I say, ratting. We could have just ratted down here or something. This was just not the play. Just sent us straight into a team with no plan or anything. Now, TGB got picked. As we are in between two teams. So our only choice here now is to try and fight our way out. Now I backed up, I know there was another team behind, like in the back of my head, but I didn't keep track of it. But it didn't matter, we were just getting like held. So the problem there is we had to play the high ground, we had to play the right side, we had to chill. We rushed into it too hard, no proper plan, and we sacrificed the scouting phase for, I guess, no real reason. And we missed out on a great opportunity that not only would have kept us safe for another zone, it probably would have won us the game, because it's ended on the over here, and like the high ground just gives us so much overlook. I think. I don't know exactly how it looks, but I'm pretty sure like just the lip here with a little bit of cover is in. So if you play it right, you will end up fine. But it didn't happen. Instead, we got absolutely screwed over. This would have been a massive point game. We're already... I'm going to have to check. We got out of this with...
Because you were out calling left when I was calling right.
This is something we have to figure out. This is a synergy problem.
I don't know how...
Oh, I actually don't have the score here, but I think we got like more than 7 kills or something. Like, yeah, we got 10th or something. But we got a lot of kills. And we got a lot of points, but this could have been huger. This could have been a win. Maybe like a 20, even 30-pointer game if we played it absolutely flawlessly. So I'm really not happy how we showed up that game. Anyways, moving on to the next one.
I thought it would be last time.
We saw that they would end here-ish. We didn't get the scan on Frag West, but we decided we're gonna go landslide. There's no team landslide, so why not? Well, let's just walk it.
There is a blue inside of this. Try to loot shields, like we have...
Yeah, good call to loot shields, because our loot is atrocious. I'm just looking around like, okay, we have this, we have that. Just making sure I'm gassed up a little bit, so we have a chance in mid to late game. When you get the loot for free, you should take it, especially I guess now.
Yeah, getting it.
We wanted to ideally scan or make a rotate, but with how little loot we get our hands on, sometimes you just have to stop on loot so you can actually make a play. Another benefit is since we're playing a Valk, we're playing a G, we're playing a Wraith, we can rotate in late, we can play Edge and whatnot. So it's okay to give up, trade a little bit of timing just so we can get a little bit better loot.
I have a purple.
Says awesome. We got a purple right there. Really, like, the loot's getting a lot better. For some reason, Frag West was just atrocious for us.
I have nothing. You want to chill and be sure about the zone or go? Because I don't think we can.
As well. 3-1. We can do that.
It sucks too because we don't. I don't think we had a single scan this entire time.
Chill.
So we assumed, or do assume, it's gonna pull to the west here.
Wipe out and watch. Because I said we can wipe out and watch.
Right, like this looks kind of like either a west zone. Usually when the zone pulls, oh, let me pause there. Usually when a zone pulls like this, it means it ends here. Almost always. But it was very far down. It had a lot of thermal still in there, so it also could have pulled thermal or maybe even staging.
There might be a different read then. It's not even looted underneath.
Now I'm just poking with the 30-30. We had talked about this now, so we sent TGB down to loot the low ground once we had secured this. I was just kind of chilling, letting them do the thing, poking a little bit left, right, and center. Just skipping through this because we've been.
Manage them a lot.
This is not much to say that I haven't been said already. These guys are gonna go for the scan again, so it makes sense to kind of keep an eye on what decision they're going to make. Alright, there's a decision here. Let's just watch it from here.
Manage them a lot.
Yeah, scan. They're underneath there right now. GB at least. Don't know the others. His white armor. Yeah, the bubble scanning.
Keep putting pressure on things.
Yeah.
I think that, look at this. Look at
Look at
this.
zone.
Walter.
Look at zone. Look at zone. It's a thermal. I think we gotta go.
So many call it, we gotta go, which I think was a good call, Ottr.
We can go,
You're so
we can
smart.
check. If we have, I think we are fucked here.
We just leave it because we have to go. Now we never got a scan on the entire rotate. It feels awful because we are gonna be late.
Remember,
On me is good. On me is
No, we are on the edge again.
I think it's
Kind of looting, and we're thinking, okay, let's see if we can get deeper.
When I deeply go, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that
Keep going deep.
99. Okay, I keep going. Then we walk out.
Okay.
Listen, it can be also this one, okay? You know that there is one safe that ends there?
Yeah.
We want to Valcolt, and timing is crucial here.
Let's go, let's go. Oh, we're gonna-
In the time we're wasting here, we missed, I think, 2 or 3 Elk teams.
Yeah, I know.
Got to ult ahead of us, which means that those 5 seconds would have gotten us a better position. Because both this team and that team now get to fly in and take great spots. I don't know how great that one is, but this is obviously all taken. This is not a single thing you can play.
It's nowhere safe.
Play this under. Play the ground.
Now we have to. This is risky. I'm just flying straight in the open for them. I figured we didn't need a bubble. I ended up doing it, but
Play inside, play inside,
Yeah,
play
safe on my
inside.
side here.
now I'm playing in the back side of this bubble because obviously if I stay on the inside, I'm screwed.
Not my ult.
Keep healing.
I'm ulting again.
I'm watching this.
So as soon as all faded, I popped my own to give us a little bit of cover. We'll hold them off a little bit so we can heal up and reset. We have no doors, we have no cover. This spot is atrocious. But we're hoping that it ends right here because this is basically in the middle of the zone. And then the trade-off is that, yeah, we don't have zone, we don't have loot, we don't have anything. But if we can brave it out, not waste too many heals, we'll end up better in late game. This is also sad because I got blocked by Lepe, kind of. I would have arced them. This probably would have played out a lot differently, but we just try to stay alive, right? Like, the only plan we can do is try to stay alive, try not get killed or picked, and hopefully the zone closes on us, and in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll be able to push up and play for endgame, and just get a lot of positioning kills, maybe rat kills and whatnot, right? Like, just playing at the win, or for the win from the positioning advantage at this point.
I watched the window then.
It's a great example of a spot, a little bit like the cannon on Storm Point, where early in the game it's really bad, everyone has a space to kind of harass you.
Just need to.
But as the game progresses, as the circle gets smaller, it's still 19 squads alive. You'll learn that, oh, wait a minute, it's kind of like, it gets a lot easier because nobody can harass you freely anymore. It costs them a lot to poke you and harass you. And eventually it flips from being a unfavorable position to a god spot if it would close here. Now I'm spoiling it, I know, but if it would close here, this would be a god spot, for example. Not better than the team above us. The team above us can play the roof, they can play the other thing, but TGB and Lepe are currently griefing my game, or our game, because they are, I'm even asking them please stop throwing, because they're just literally walking out, getting shot repeatedly. Every single team is looking at us. Why wouldn't they? Shoot them, right? You just have to rat, just play passive, unbind your keyboard and do absolutely nothing. I got 0 time to react on that, and I wasn't moving. I should not have gotten grabbed by this anyways. And I got stuck by the Wraith taking the portal, and then I died. And then we're gonna move forward a bit.
Oh my god.
I wasn't even fucking moving.
Yeah, I wasn't moving. Not at the very end of the league. You don't need to do any of this.
The one game with final.
As I was saying to chat as well, I'm like, well, at the very least they're passive now because now I'm dead.
You don't get kidnapped.
Just incredibly, like, this is just how we play. It's really sad, but this is what esports look. This is what Apex esport looks like. Just people camping. No wonder people don't care about it that much. But once you guys see the high IQ decision making, maybe it's a little bit more interesting to watch. It's like watching two masterminds at work. So now zone is gonna close very soon. I just skipped ahead about 5 minutes because I just sat around for 5 minutes and nothing really happening. Trying to get info and at the same time walking around. And as you notice, we're later into the zone and all of a sudden people aren't poking anymore because they don't get anything out of it. They gotta focus on their own rotate. What happens now is a team used a bubble. This was awkward as hell. The Valk ulted with their teammates. And now TGB pushed up. Lepe got cracked. TGB pushes up. Does some really good damage. Even gets a kill. I'm yelling at him to stay alive and... I mean, I guess the call had to come earlier, or like he just had to use his brain. He died for that peak, or pick. I don't think we got the KP for it. I don't know how that looks. It's hard to say from my POV. And now Lepe is kind of like left in a horrible position. He has to fly in between. There's 15 teams alive still in the circle closing. There's going to be an absolute cluster and of teams. And I like this flying. This was great. Aim assist didn't work. He got screwed. Probably because he was stunned. And then he died. And that was over. I mean, it was a full team, so it was dead anyways, but maybe we could have clutched it if we didn't catch him off guard. Lepe's a great player, so I think he could have definitely made something happen. So that one, I think the best decision would be to just continue playing the edge, right? Like, that's only because when we saw that everything was taken, now we thought maybe it'll end here, but we saw everything was taken. The best decision would be to just go back, play edge, and try to make something happen. Maybe Valk it in later when an opening presents itself, instead of ham fist forcing something. I mentioned this also in the previous round, or from the first day of ALGS, that we force plays a lot of times that we don't have to. And when we Valk ult, we don't have a plan B, which is exactly kind of what happened there. Like now we Valk ult for info, so we fly around to see if something open, then drop on it. But if we don't have anything, he just kind of because Lepe is a decision making, makes a decision, and so he just goes, okay, well, he's land for anywhere forehead.
It was so fast.
Oh, we talked about it there.
So yeah.
So we landed here, pretty decent zone. The world's basically the same zone we had in the first World's Edge game, pulling to around this area. We rotated very fast. I got about the same loadout. Just trying to make a play, trying to make a rotational play for, see what happens. We already learned a lesson from this as well, but this one time it pulled way more obvious to Survey. Quick discussion about positioning, but I was saying we want to play up there on the north side. The reason for that is because then we can play edge, our back will be safe, and very many zones, survey zones, they close and they're favorable for the top side. In my opinion, most, you don't usually win a game in or loot isn't the best, but it is so valuable. I didn't watch, I don't know exactly where this ended fully, but it wouldn't surprise me if I pulled like right here, because that's usually how it looks. Either here, or like to the middle here.
Sorry?
My suggestion is, I don't know how it pulls, but I mean, it looks like it could...
Right, like that looks like a very classic one of these zones. If we could not only get this, but get that spot. The problem with holding the spot early is this team will harass you. So you kind of like, you want to play here as long as you can and then take it later. But if we would have gotten this position, that could be like a game winner there.
Like one of these endings, right?
Especially when you play in finals, like if you play to qualify, yeah, take a survey camp spot. You need to get top 10, not number 1. There's no difference between the first place team and a 10th place team. Other than maybe, oh, it doesn't feel as, you don't feel as pressured playing from the first place compared to the 10th. But when you're in finals, every game needs to be a win, right? You gotta play risky, you gotta make some big decisions. Yep. If you sit around, you make the passive, high percentage play, which nets just a tiny bit of points, you won't win. Especially when only like number 1 team qualifies or whatever. I still don't understand exactly what you get out of winning a challenger circuit at this point, because I don't think you qualify for anything. No Pro League, no LAN, but number 1 team, they get something. I just don't know what it is. I think it's like points.
You're the one with white, they're gonna...
Lepe made a peek here with his white armor. I should have given him my blue. That was an oversight. So they see that we have white and blue armor. And they literally just go, alright, so as you see now they have purple.
I'm nading. Watch that.
I could have probably ulted this, but I'm thinking the nade works. They're just using their entire arsenal. And I don't know what exactly happened. TGB said it later, but he just got ran down by the entire team. And now we're just dead. It's over. There's a full team with golds, with purples. I don't know where they got the loot from, but like compared to us, they have even shotguns and whatnot. We just cannot win this. Like they just had way better loot, and they walked up and they just took the place. Like if TGB wouldn't have gotten picked, we could have made something happen. But he did get picked, and yeah, we can't take a skirmish because they had a massive loot advantage. If we would have been able to hold them better, this would have worked better. Once again, like we just had to hold them off a little bit, and they would get pushed in the back eventually, as I mentioned in the previous game. I didn't watch the end of this game because I was like, I will break mentally if it so happens that it does pull to this exact spot, because I did call it, which would have made it 2 or 3 spots. I can do a free spots that or endings that I called. This was a long video. I don't think Shiv's gonna edit the whole thing down. Absolute kudos if it does. I guess you guys will know it'll be about 1 hour and 40 something minutes if it's not cut down. I think this is golden knowledge all the way through and through. If you did watch all the way to the very end, I would absolutely love you guys if you subscribe, obviously, hit the follow button. Make sure to tell me in the comments, hey, I watched all the way to the end. That's how I know you're a real one. This is a bit of an Easter egg, if you may. If you guys want to watch day 1 of this, I'll just put it on the screen right now. Go check it out. It's been great. And actually, no. Before we do that, I just want to tell you guys once again about the project. We mentioned it at the start. The Playing for Content project is basically TGB and I have been struggling for a while to find a third. We had Gonzalez. He got poached to Pro League. We picked up Lepe, and we were starting to grind, but TGB kept getting caught up with his work. He worked customer service for a company I will not mention. But they had him working horrible shifts for like 8-9 hours, and he kept switching up his schedule, effectively making practice impossible, because yes, some days he worked 8 to 5, the other days he worked 12 to 8, some days he worked like 5 to like 2 in the night, and it was super random. It was basically like my old customer service job I used to have, and it just made it impossible to consistently practice. So the Playing for Content project is actually me paying out a salary to the boys so we can focus 100% on making this happen. Despite the issues you saw here, also Lepe did say he was a bit pressured because he's not super experienced. That being said, and it's also his first time as an IGL. So keeping in mind he was pressured, keeping in mind this is versus IGL, getting us to finals and 9th place at the end was amazing. And is a great testament for how much potential this team has. I have put money down on a salary. I paid our first paycheck, I think it was yesterday, and I have full faith that it might not pay in dividends, right? I might not get the return on investment, but it will give us a chance to actually compete for something great. I am a competitor at heart, and I just have never got an opportunity with good teammates with the right mindset to make this happen. And now when I have the chance, I just had to grab it by the balls and make something happen. If you guys do want to help out with funding the team for the stream to continue, you don't have to buy merch. You don't have to subscribe or you use Prime or literally anything. You don't have to put money on this. All I'm asking you to do is, if you're watching my videos, that you like them, that you share them, that you comment. Maybe you tell someone that, oh, hey, Ottr's doing this thing with his team, playing for content. Get the word out so I can continue funding the boys. Because in a way, it kind of comes back to, like, it wraps back towards me, so to speak. Anyways, I'm gonna take the day 1 video plus the roster announcement. It's available on the screen right there. Absolute banger of a video. I suggest you go check that out. That's what led up to these, if I may say, disappointing finals. Curious to hear what you guys think, and I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, peace out.